Good evening to all of you, and welcome to you all on another Talk Show Stories that impact your career. And on the regular basis, just everybody used to normally the basic question used to ask. What is that question? Question is what challenge we all are facing to build our career in IT or core IT. So in this talk, so we have our guest definitely in core IT, and let me just give you all the basic introduction of. So our today's guest is amazing storyteller. After losing his parent at the early age, he started working from the age of 15. Professionally, he is a project manager and agile coach and hold a master degree in project management. And the last one, he is a TEDx speaker. So let me just welcome Amit Khanna. So welcome Amit, and great to have you in our show. And I know a lot of people are a lot of exactly the IT career professional or those who wants to build their career in IT. They are going to get benefited from this conversation. So yeah, Amit.
Thank you very much, Upendra. It's a pleasure to be on your show. Thank you.
Great. So, Amit, normally, whenever people used to come and just ask for advice, and one of the common thing everybody is just started saying, I have this challenge, that challenge, and this full of challenges. And I know about you to start with your childhood. It's a struggle and struggle and struggle. So definitely right now you are holding a key role in one of the IT company and just doing a fabulous on that. So can you please just share your starting journey, your definitely before coming to career, what all of the struggle you have just gone through?
Sure. I think struggle and me are we've been synonyms, for a very long time. Uh, See, I don't take struggle as a bad thing. Okay, so that's one of the aspects of my growth. Okay, so it all basically, like you said, in my introduction, I lost my father being a single child, and I lost my father at 15. So I've been working since 94. Okay, getting educated and moving through 11th 12th and doing my graduation and so on. And my mother was unwell. I lost her after a decade, after I lost my father. But what I realized is that I worked in textile industry, I worked in hotel industry, I worked in banking, all this during my college years. Okay, and when I did my graduation, my cousins told me to do CDAC. So if for people who do not know, most of the IT guys would know this, but it's a center develop diploma in advanced computing. Okay, so I got to CDAC, I finished that. Now again, yeah, I said right, struggle and me are synonyms.
Mhm.
When I got into CDAC, it was told that, hey, do the CDAC and bar nikalte, you're gonna get 15,000 rupees job easily. You're a BSc graduate. If you're a B, you might get 18 or 20K. Okay. So, and 15,000, I'm talking 2001. So it still carries a reasonable amount of value back then. And I did my CDAC, and to my luck, 9/11 happened. So if everyone 11 remembers the Twin Tower plane crash, that is September 11th, 2001, is my graduation day. Okay. So I graduated, post graduated in August end, and 9/11 plane crashed. And if people go back to history, they will also realize that that was the year when the dot com industry failed. So there were plenty of Java professionals across India, no job, and I am a fresher and I am hunting for a job. Okay. So no job, of course, for me as well. So बोलते ना करता क्या नहीं करता, I got into call center to begin with because I have to earn some money, and slowly and gradually I moved into IT. Okay, uh, now that was my thing, so it took time for me. It was very challenging. I worked, my starting salary used to be, when I worked as a teenager, was 750 rupees a month. Okay, and when I worked in textile industry, it was 1000 rupees for 12 hours a month. So if I don't go for a day, they'll cut 33 rupees from my salary. All right. From there, when I entered into IT, I was like, oh my God, because you can imagine, right? A factory floor, there is no fan, it's very high ceilings, right? Uh, you are with chemicals all the time. And from there, moving into IT, which is like, you know, it's like air conditioned rooms, and you get tea free, things like that. Plus, you get money. Okay. So things were very different for me.
Mhm.
So that was my struggling start. That's how I moved on.
Okay, so great. Now, I mean, just adding to that, yes, struggle. Now, how you, because you started with a number of non-IT job first, then you work in the call center or tech support, right?
Yeah.
So from tech support, can you please share the journey from that tech support to the core IT right now? So what exactly you did on that to just whatever position you hold now? So a little bit
No.
just the process what you followed.
So, there are what I call these people like angels all the time. So I always say this very openly that I'm very blessed. Okay. And why I say this is because there are people who come and help you. So while I was working in call center, it was still a technical call center, so I was still on the hardware side of the IT. Okay. Now the only part was to get onto the software side of the IT. All right. So I had my friends who were at CDAC guys. Basically, they didn't join anything. Okay, so they started hunting on their own. So I did my CDAC in Calcutta. So all my friends of Calcutta, I decided to come back to Mumbai because I'm born and brought up Mumbai, and I started working here. And then my friends of CDAC, they said that, Amit, there are openings in Bangalore, and you gotta come and try. We'll get you in. So that was my, and because I didn't spend much time in calls, it was probably still almost, I would say, close to a year. But the best part is that my degrees still hold valid. And of course, I had to go to Bangalore, learn, I think it was Oracle that time. So I learned Oracle database, and I learned a bit of front end, and I got as a starter job in one of the companies. So that's how it moved for me. It wasn't easy because after a year touch chhoot jata hai. But again, you have to go back to the education, get yourself trained, and then you get through. So two things happened for me. One is my colleagues referral helped, but before that I had to get some brushing up knowledge, get some basic certificates in, and then move to the next part.
Wow, great. So here is the main thing today. Also, a lot of guys are again. This I'm just asking question on behalf of the professional students who are in touch with me, and I know uh, thousands of students like that. They are working in the tech support or any application support, any support kind of work, and knowingly unknowingly they are not just they are thinking that okay, I'm working in tech support and I cannot do anything else apart from this profile because I'm working for last 1 year, 2 year, maybe 3 to 4 year also. Okay, and in this, the pay package for this is pretty low compared to the core IT job. Now, you just started with the tech support, then you moved. So, what exactly, as per your advice, those people should be doing? Because they are just hopeless saying that, okay, no, no, we are not good for that. So, again, you already saying that, okay, I have just learned something and then move to that. So before that, definitely you need some courage or something. So what was your state of mind that back time, and what you did to overcome with this, the mental, the strength wise?
Good point. Good point. I think I think it's all boils down to desire. uh, you know, एक होता ना हंगर कि भाई मुझे कुछ करना है, या see there are always two, any situation brings two things to you. One is that you challenge that, or any challenge brings you one thing, either you accept it or you decline it, correct? Or there is pros and cons for both. Okay, so I think at that time, because I was very young, we're talking 20 years now almost. So I think, and with my background of struggle, I don't think it would be like, isse bura kya hoga, right? That's the whole point. And the thing, Upendra, what I personally believe is that I have a lot of self confidence. I believe in me. Okay, so if you believe in yourself and if you have the desire, that's the massive thing, because people will tell a lot of things. Oh, you have a running salary. Abhi, if now, I don't know how much people get in call centers, but let's say if it is 30-40K, people will say, why you want to leave that 30-40K and all that. All you have to do is understand that next 6 months, do I have the money to pay the rents and the bill? Do I have a little more money, like 15-20K more, to take care of any unfortunate thing? And just have the confidence. I think desire nahi rahega to fir there's nothing you can do. Honestly speaking, I had that desire. I wanted to move, so I took that step.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. So here, Amit, desire, yes, definitely we should have, and they are just, and salary wise, what you mentioned, what they are approx getting in tech support. So average, again, as per the discussion, what I used to have from the student or the professional who are working in this tech support. So around 20 to 40 in between. So depending on their experience or which domain they are working on. So here is the further question that which domain, if they are working as a tech support engineer, as per again your whatever experience you have in this, so which domain they should be looking for? Again, your advice to them who are working in this domain. From where
Excellent.
to start?
No, yeah, that's really, really good question. Because see, for me, it was because CDAC teaches you close to 16 modules, from everything Java to AHP to .NET to database to everything at that time. Okay, so for me, it wasn't the case, which one. Yeah, but here's the thing. For me, I was very sure that I'm a bad coder. Okay, so Java was out of thing for me, period. So then remained databases and languages, like whatever the language is, or operating system, I'm sorry. So operating system, since I was with the hardware technical support, so we do have to reinstall the operating system and all that. So I knew a bit, but I didn't wanted to get into more of that, because again, when it comes to Linux and Unix, there is then those black and white screens, and I don't understand that much. So that was out. The last for me option was database, and that I understood reasonably well, and it used to be Oracle back then, at least. So that I understood reasonably well. So my suggestion now to people would be two things. One is that if they really know anything about IT, or if their educational background is IT, so they might have gone through some subjects that they really like. I hope so. Okay. But if it is not, let's say if it is not, then I think it all boils down to what they really they should learn now. Okay, as per the market demand. Like for example, I know Python is it was there during my time and is there now and probably will be there for next at least a decade. I'm very sure. So that is one good thing to get into. But if you're very unclear, I think that's where Upendra, you people like you can assist and guide them as to what steps they should take, based on some, do some tests online and figure out what you're good at in terms of your IQ and other skills. Okay, like for example, I know I'm not a good coder. I can't code like nesting logics jo hota hai, I can't nest beyond 2 3 things within, I'll lose the variable somewhere. Okay, so I don't attempt that. So yeah, I think that's what I would suggest.
Yeah. Okay. Great, Amit. And just thanks for giving the basic suggestion. Yes. Whatever, mostly, again, this is my own feedback interacting with those guys, whoever are there in this tech support. 95% of them are not interested in the coding. And you are just coming under that. So, yes, whichever technology, non coder, like maybe database is there, maybe cybersecurity is there. Okay, so maybe so these are the means database, cloud, cybersecurity. These are the top three things as per the market trend right now going on. So anyone here, there is no as such coding is needed. Okay, so now just we are moving to the next part, and next part is yes, this is what we discussed about the coding, the technical part. Now we all know there is one of the main very vital point we all have in this any industry including IT is non-technical skill. And I know you are just for last few years you are just everything you are just sharing through the stories. Okay, so that is again non-technical skill, how this storytelling is going to impact anybody's career, including IT, non-IT both. So, can you please just share with us about your that storytelling thing and how it can be benefit to the professional, any professional, IT, non-IT both. So, a little bit detail about
Sure.
that.
Sure, definitely. See, storytelling falls under this big umbrella. We call it as interpersonal skills, right? And what happened is like over a last 2 years. Uh, so what I've been doing in last 2 decades actually is that I have been using my stories a lot. Okay, sometimes to inspire people, sometimes to scare them, sometimes to motivate or get things done or share with them that, oh, this is nothing, man, there's much hell that I have been through or somebody has been through. But what it does is that it just puts them into the right place. Okay, because here's the thing. See, uh I recently, not recently, I was talking in one of the webinars like few months back, and there's a thing called as, I think it was in Nepal, where a lady, when they go through their menstrual cycles, they actually are supposed to leave their house, the hut, and they're supposed to live in a place called as Chopad. Now it's just you can imagine Chopad is like 4 feet high and 5 feet inside. That's it. So imagine a girl who is like above 4 feet, right? So she'll have to sit like that. Now there the statistic says that people, the girls will actually stay there for 5 days, 6 days, whatever that time duration is. They'll not touch, blah 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 blah, and they die because there is no heater there. Okay, so one of the incidents happened is where they lit up the fire to get some heat, and the whole chopard went on fire and she died. The point here is that that data was presented. I presented the data in statistical form, right? We know statistics like this, and this is how the graph goes. And then I shared the image of the chopard, and I asked the people, the audience, that which is the image, what does this image do to you? And people shared their emotions. They're happy, they're, sorry, angry, they are very very sad and stuff like that. So when I asked them about the stats, they people didn't had much of reaction. When they saw the image, they had a lot of reaction. It's the same background information, right? So what happens is stories basically evoke emotions into people. Okay, now decisions are made by heart. Okay, even though we use stats to support them, we have to understand this, because any decision at the toppest level is done via heart in a way. When you have the right stats, so stats do help, but at the core of it, it is the story. And what story means now, look, people are very storytelling is such a word now, and it is used so much that people feel that, oh my god, abhi ye kahani bolne lag jayega. And I have to tell them that no, it's not like that. Any statement that you speak, it's just the way you use the words and articulate the meaning out of it, that's all. Okay, if I have to tell Upendra that, next time you have to do a little better, or don't delete the data from production, all I have to do is put it in such a way that he doesn't get that I'm slapping his on his face, and he also understands what I'm trying to say. So, in a nutshell, that's where the storytelling helps a lot. Of course, there's a huge background of how it takes care and everything, but I think from my perspective, all I would say is that data carries a lot of value when it is backed by a story. Alone data will not help you that much if you want to put your point across.
Wow. So that's really great insight, Amit, because yes, everybody says you will tell story, but what is the concept behind story? We can just represent or present anything in the better way in this. Now, I'm just moving you back to one of the question from Pritesh Das. So, Pritesh is asking, what was your motivation factor that made you what you are today? So, would you like to just speak something on that?
Sure. Hi, Pratish. And I know him very well. He's a fantastic IT person. So, Pratish, very good question, actually. There are many factors, actually. So, one of the factors was that, you know, when my father passed away, we were literally bankrupt in a way. Okay. To the point that we were also going to lose our house. So from there, the whole idea in the head was that, either I give up, right? And I sit and cry like a baby, or I do something. All right. Now, at the age of 15, I'll not say that, oh my God, there is a big maturity bomb that hit my head. But I think this is what happened basically. So I read a book called as You Can Win, okay, by Shiv Khera. So that, and my cousin shared that book with me, my sister-in-law, cousin sister-in-law. And that book actually taught me that, there are countless number of people in problem, and there are countless ways to come out of that. Okay, so you can win. Okay, and that gave me the strength that, hey, you know what, I can do as well. So that was my one of the founding thing, and I'm very happy to also inform that I met Shiv Khera in person. Okay, and I got his autograph as well. But yeah, so that was one of the aspects. And second thing is, Pritish, I would just say that, there's only two choice you'll always get for anything. One is that give up. The other is not. Giving up is something that, you give up on that particular thing, but next day you again gonna live, right? See, if you give up and you die, then it's all fine. Okay, there's no problem. But if you bloody survive, okay, then it's gonna bite you back more. So my thought process was like, you know what, I'm gonna live the next day, I might as well not give up.
Wow. So hope it clarify whatever Pritesh was asking. Now, related to that, Amit, and I would like to just listen from you or your version. What happens sometime decision, yes or no, whatever, whether you fail or pass, that is different. So having courage to make decision. What happened nowadays? I used to interact with many guys, but they are in not. They don't have that confidence to make a decision. They lack confidence with that. So what exactly, on what basis they should be making decision? Any advice to those guys who are just in comfort zone? They might be, I don't know whether they know or they have to take some action, but still they are not taking, and just I know they deserve a lot, but due to just inaction they fail to just get whatever they deserve. So any piece of advice to those person or professional or students who are in this state of mind?
Sure. I think I'm not sure about this advice, but here is what I would think. Comfort zone. So we need to they need to sit and define what comfort zone is for them. Okay, because I think Upendra, a lot of people do not even know they are in comfort zone. Okay, they feel that their current life only is so much of a trouble that they don't want to get into new things. Okay, so the first thing they need to understand is that they are in comfort zone. So how do you define comfort zone? So for me, comfort zone would be that I have not done anything new for 2 months. Okay, so that's a comfort zone for me. That means I am not growing in my head. All right, so if that's the case, then 2 months, you can say 3 months, 5 months, whatever, but please don't make it more than 9 months. All right. But if that's the case, yeah, you are in comfort zone. Secondly, if you're crying about your current state of life, okay, this is very important. If you're still crying and cribbing about your current state of life, then you're an idiot. Sorry to say this, okay, but that's the fact. Then you're an idiot because you're not taking action. All right. Of course, that action is gonna be really, really difficult. It could be challenging, but that's the fact. So first, understand, are you in comfort zone? Second, are you crying about it? If you are, then again the same thing. What will happen? Back then I don't do it much now these days, but at least 10, 20 years ago, I used to actually sit and write this pros and cons. Okay. So this thing was taught to me by Stanchart Bank. So when I was in it is back when I was doing my education, and I used to work for Stand Chartered Bank, and I was working in a department called as Finance Against Shares. And at that time, shares were physical paper. Okay. And DMAT, that is dematerialization concept, was launched back then. I think it was 98 or something. So Stanchart went and gave us some training, 2 days of full training. जिसमें एक दिन था only on this mindset and all that. Goal setting I learned from them in 1999. All right. And that's what they told us. Okay, put anything down and write down the pros and cons. So current life, what is my pros? What is my cons? My current pros are that, oh, I've got time from 6 p.m. I don't have to do anything. I can watch Netflix or whatever crap you might be doing, or whatever good you might be doing. Sorry. And please mind I please mind my language. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone. And the other side is that if you think that, okay, if I have this next thing to do, if I want to move to IT, I have to learn this cyber security. What are the pros and cons? Okay. And then figure out based on that pros kiske zyada heavy hai, right? Jahan pe bhi zyada pros dikhega, that's the decision you have to take. And that's how you will understand that are you in comfort zone. So again, it boils down to the same thing. Do you have the desire, or it's just there in your head? I want to earn 80,000, but उसके लिए काम भी करना पड़ेगा. Nobody's gonna come and give you 80K. Okay, nobody's gonna come and give you 2 lakhs. Nobody's gonna come and give you the job you want. You gotta slog your ass, and to do that, you have to come out of your so-called comfort zone.
Wow. Okay. Great. So the previous answer, what we got, just few comment like Muskan has that comment is wow, great. So yeah, great insight. Whatever your experience you are sharing, and yes, the conclusion. What I can just see in the last thing, you have to work hard. There is no way out, number one. And number two, yes, you have to do some research, whatever way. And nowadays doing research is pretty easy. Maybe in half an hour you can do at least to make any decision. Just everything is available in the Google. Just do research, come with whatever the best one, and start doing it. Now, one of the again thing coming here is yes, about again the storytelling and the TEDx speaker. So the basic question is how you just crack it. Any the preparation you did it for this, or how to just go in the stage for this TEDx. So any suggestion for anybody who is just eager to just go for that TEDx talk or something is.
Sure. Yeah, it was exciting. It was really exciting. So this is what you gotta do is you at least should watch close to 30 to 50 TEDx talks. Okay, do that because see, TEDx talk, doing it on the platform and doing it live is different. Okay, doing it on the platform is much more scarier in a way because as Jerry Seinfeld said, the number one fear in the world is standing on the stage. Okay, public speaking is the number one fear, not death, by the way. Okay, so it's quite funny. So if public speaking is the number one fear, then for TEDx you better make sure that you're prepared well. Now, other things that you want to prepare is that storytelling. See, I tell this to my folks as well, my group, is that you might wear an Armani suit, you might be dressed very well, you are like the most beautiful and the handsomest person that can be. But when you talk, the words that come out of your mouth is storytelling. Okay. So that's the whole idea. All right. So it's not a pageant where you just going to go there, show off your dress and yourself and get something done. It's about talking, and that's where it doesn't matter what dress you wear on TEDx, right? So if you watch my TEDx, you can do it. It's called as skill your soft skill because it's also related to soft skills, interpersonal skills. You will see a pattern. Okay, and that pattern I got it from watching many TEDx talks. Okay, there are books as well, you can read them, but here's the thing, you gotta know what story you're going to say and how the flow of the story should be. So here's a simple flow I can tell you right now. Okay, you gotta have a story which will start with a struggle. Okay, so context रहना चाहिए, right? What are you gonna talk about? So let's say a title talks something like my title was Kill the Soft Skill. Okay, so it's like I'm trying to kill the soft skill, Joe. It's a soft skill, it's in the air, right? I'm trying to kill it. So this background was that I come with the handcuff. Okay, and I talk my whole story. My TEDx talk is with the handcuffs. So you gotta have a struggle. What was the struggle? Okay, then you will share that struggle, how it impacted your life. Okay, so if you're going through any struggle and it's bothering you, how it bothered you. All right, the next part would be the solution of that struggle. So what is this new idea, concept, thought process, whatever you have that you're trying to share? In my case it was vowels of storytelling, right? So and then how does those concept idea is going to help to take care of that struggle and the benefit. And the best thing is you got to try to get these things done in a time frame of 20, 12 or 10 to 15 minutes. Now that's very important. Okay, मजे की बात ये रहती है जैसे now we are talking and I don't feel that tired. I hope Upendra also doesn't feel that tired, but we already passed 30 minutes, right? So that's very, very critical. I moved from 21 minutes to 18 minutes to 17 minutes to 14 and a half minutes to 12. I did 7 shots. Okay, real shots. And I'm not talking preparation time. Uska to alag time tha, but I did real, actual videos of 7 shots. Okay. So it was very, very chaotic. But yeah, again, I don't want to sound that OMG TEDx talk. No, it is big thing. Yes, it's not that. You gotta be ready. All right, just be ready with all these things. Have the story in the way I told you. SSS structure: struggle, solution, and success.
Okay, great. So thanks for sharing this, the incident, what you did and how and what exactly, some crisp idea about that. So now coming back to Amit, one book you just shared with us, You Can Win. So the question is, and this is again for all of our viewer, and after the talk, so many people personally just ping me saying that, okay, this guest said which book, can you please ping us or ping me or something. So again, what is the impact of book in Amit Khanna's life, career, whatever you are today?
Ah, fantastic. Books are like my virtual parents. Uh, because I, when I used to work in hotel and my friends used to meet every day in the evening after college, and I used to work in Borivali, New Neelam Hotel, and my timings were 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. And I used to get leave on Thursday because Borivali West Thursdays they generally close, so I used to get chutti on that day. And then I used to, this happened when I went and met them, and I'm 17, I believe, or 16 at that time. And now they're talking about things, and I'm just cut off because I don't know. 6 days I'm not there, I don't know what all happens, and they say, oh, you know what, ye mila tha, wo mila tha. And I realized that, I don't fit there anymore. So I started towards books. And Sidney Sheldon was one of my first books that I read, after You Can Win, of course. But Sidney Sheldon was first fiction book that I loved. And since then, books have been my guardian, book have been my help, book has spoiled me as well. It depends on what books you read, right? So, but books are my digital parents, I would say.
Wow. So Amit, regarding that, books, I know personally that you have read many books, right? So keeping in mind again the young generation building their career, maybe IT, non-IT. So any 2 to 3 book as per Amit, which book you are going to give just the suggestion? Okay, you can go through maybe 1, 2, 3, or maybe 1, 2, or at least one. This book you should go.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay, so I have many books in head, but here are few books I would still recommend. Okay, the two books that I recommend, and these are very common ones. Okay, people recommend it, right, and everyone would know it. Okay, but I'll still give you guys like 5 books today. Okay, now please make it a point. I'm going by the series. Okay, so one of the books that you should read is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Okay, it's by Dale Carnegie, and it's really nice. Okay, it just talks about, see, remember one thing, you might become the head of the organization, or you might that be that person who is in the corner in the office who's a coder. Okay, and nobody knows this person. But if you want to get into the world, if you want to achieve anything, you have to talk. Okay, baat to karni padegi. And if you have to talk, you better learn how to talk and how to influence with your talk. So read that book. All right, the second one I would suggest is, again, it's a tag book, Think and Grow Rich. Okay, why Think and Grow Rich? Because it talks about collaboration. It talks about a certain thought process that how do you get into, forget the business aspect. How do you be a little better than what you were? Okay. You don't have to work through all of that Think and Grow Rich series, but at least for the first 6 to 7 chapters. Okay. Now, other books are little more different, but it's a nice ones. So here they are. You Can Win is a old book by Shiv Khera. I think in 2000 or 1999, somewhere that time. But very good book, simple and motivating. Okay, to get your ass out of the comfort zone. Okay. Then for people who are into project management, all right, I am a project manager, been a decade now. There is no other book better than PMBOK, that is Project Management Body of Knowledge, and sixth edition and seventh edition. Okay, seventh is the latest edition. It is fantastic. If you want to get into management, give it a read. It's the most boring book on the planet, but it is packed with gyan. Okay, I still have it for edition 5, 6, 7th. Abhi maine mangai hai. Okay, and the last one. This is a very very deadly book. Use it with care. Okay, and the book's name is 48 Laws of Power. You have to really use it with care, and I can tell you it's really really deadly, because it is, some of the laws are so very challenging, not challenging, so very strange. You will think that, oh my god, aisa to world mein hota nahi hai. Okay, so use it carefully. If you don't know to implement it, don't do it. All right, but this is for those people who have been into a position of 5 years, 6 years. Now they want to jump into management and start learning other things and so on. That will help.
Okay, it's a great. And whatever book you mentioned, yes, couple of book is my favorite in the sense. I used to think if somebody could have just suggested when I was in graduation, or to start with my main study 10 plus 2 or something like that. You Can Win is one of the favorite, and How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a great means, and as per again what you suggested, as per me also, everybody should just have and read this book minimum 5 to 10 times minimum. Now, related to that again, Pritesh, just to give one comment here. Any suggestion you want to give on this?
Sure. So, book reading now is a thing that half of the people, now again, Pritesh, this is not to you, okay? In general, half of the people read books so that they can sleep. Half of the people say that ke college mein book padhi thi. Okay. Now, the reason they don't read it is because they feel that there is going to be an exam in their own head, right? Because, oh my God, मैंने book पढ़ा तो कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा, right? So that's the first thing, you have to take it out. Okay. Second thing, to read a book is, okay. So I have this small book, for example. Okay. It's the diary basically. Let's say there are 200 pages. So you take the page 1 and you go to page number, let's say 200. Okay. And then you take these little papers. Okay. Anything. And put it, every day you will read 8 pages. And then just put after 8 page, 8 paper, after 8 page, 8 paper. So now the book will not look like a book. The book will look like a half a newspaper. Okay, because you just have to read till the point you have that paper. All right. And you can finish the book within, let's say, a month. One thing I would really strongly advise everyone, please do not read a lot of books, because a lot of information in the head will just make you Google. Okay. So let Google have that. All right. Information overload also is not good, because there is nothing that comes out of it. So focus on, if you haven't read any book, focus on reading one book a month. That's still 12 books a year. That's a lot of books, by the way. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great
I hope
advice.
I tried to answer your question.
Yeah, definitely.
And, sorry, one
Yeah, go
One
ahead,
more
Amit.
suggestion. Sorry, Upendraji. One more suggestion. Pritish, pick up a time where you find that you have the good time to read. I personally, I would say start it up in the morning if you can. If you cannot do anything, grab an audiobook, okay, and try to listen it to at 1.5x speed. Speed at 1 is really bad. Your mind will divert somewhere. So read it, listen to the audiobook at 1.5 speed, because that is the speed which will match your brain. And if you do that for 20 minutes, that's good enough. Really good enough. Over to
Wow.
you.
Yeah, so it's a great advice, Amit. Yes, and you said that yes, 1.5x. That means as per the speed of our brain, at least. So it's a great insight for me also, and a lot of viewer that we used to distract, right? Okay, after this. So it's a thanks for sharing this, and again, Poonam Patil, just some comment. It came for you. For you,
Ah,
okay. So
thank you.
yes,
Thank you very
yeah.
much, Poonam.
So here, Amit, just we are moving to the last phase of our the show, and that is everybody nowadays talking about mentor, right? And as per Amit, what is the importance of mentor in anybody's career or life, and how it is just whatever means advantage, the speed, whichever position you are. So, what exactly your thought about mentor, and what is the importance of mentor in your life, your career?
Good point. I think you're absolutely right. Mentor, coach, too much buzzwords actually. Uh, I think, see, what happened with me is when I was in hotel, right, New Neelam. So there were waiters, okay. So one of the waiters, and guy was a senior person. So that guy just said that, give me something, and I asked him something. He shared something. In a way, he's mentoring me, correct? So you will mentoring is sometimes there are two things. One is that you need some help and somebody is helping you sometimes, and then there are people who you go constantly and seek advice, or they understand what is best for you. They figure out that this is your pros and cons, and they work towards it, right? But at the end of the goal, the responsibility lies with you, right? So for me, mentor basically means is that I have it. It's one of the key things is it should be like-minded. Okay, so I'll tell you one thing. So I lost 7 lakh rupees in an investment on ICICI once. Okay, that person who gave me the policy was not clear, and I was dumb enough to not read everything. Okay, so in a way, he coached me, but it turned out to be weird, right? So what I've also learned is that you seek mentorship from the people who have gone through certain things, who understand it as well. Okay, that's number one. Second is that mentors play a vital role because they will not be your mother, father, relative, brother, cousin, or whatever. Okay, so if you're doing shit, they're gonna tell you that you're doing shit. So that helps. That really helps. So for me, I would say mentors are very essential. Uh, and you need to have more than one mentor. You cannot have one mentor because that one mentor cannot take care of the all the areas of your life. Okay, so if anybody googles wheels of life, there are 7 areas that we generally talk: health, wealth, blah blah blah, life, this. So one mentor doesn't suffice there. Having 7 mentors also doesn't make any sense. So you got to pick and choose your mentor in a way. Sometimes you really have to do it. Okay, but there's also saying, right, कि जब मेंटी तैयार हो जाता है तो मेंटर आ जाता है. Right, when the mentee is ready, a mentor appears. So that happens, and I believe in it. So I think But yeah, to answer your question in short, I think mentors, coaches are really required, because think about it. Sachin Tendulkar is a famous person, right? But he has a coach, right? What do you think the coach would do to these people? Do you think that they actually help to tell nahi aise kar वैसे? No, they help you with your mindset. Okay, it's all here. That's why my whole head is gray now. So, but that's what mentors and coaches do to you, because you need them to push you, and and then you do this thing.
Okay, great. And thanks, Amit, for just giving clarity on this. And related follow-up question here is, what exactly, how should I search for a mentor? What criteria should I have? So what is your take on this? How to find mentors?
That's a very very excellent slash tricky question. But here's the thing. So when I want to search for mentor, now what I do? Okay, so let's say I am into project management, I am into storytelling, I am into motivation areas, right? So everyone needs to understand one thing. Okay, there is always a line. Okay, you are this line. All right, there are people below you and there are people above you. Your mentor is here. You need to be somebody's mentor, so that जो नीचे वाला है उसको भी आपको ऊपर लाना है. So you have to figure out where you are as of today, what sort of understanding that you need, and who in the market. Go and hunt, Google, YouTube, just YouTube actually. Okay, because YouTube may you can see them talking about things, right? And
Yeah.
figure out, they should have enough content, they should have enough information to share. Do you connect? Okay, if you connect, it's worth trying that person out. Now, some of my mentors don't even know that I am their mentee. I have their programs. I'm bunch of, they have 1 lakh people. I'm one of them. Doesn't matter, because what understanding I need from that person right now, I'm getting it. I don't have to talk to that person, in a sense. So I think that's how you need to figure out. So like my mentors are right now, let's say Dave Gadvi. We all know that. You know that, I know him, right? So I
Yeah.
am blessed to have a connect with him, right? My second mentor is JP Davids. He's in Sweden. All right. The third one is Ali Abdul. He's in UK. Okay. So I learn from them, but I don't get to talk to them because they are way up. But yeah, I somehow managed to work with them. So figure it out, and please remember one thing: whatever you do, whatever knowledge that you gain, please pass on to others, because there are people who are still waiting for that, and you could be the another mentor for many.
Yeah, that's a great piece of advice, Amit. And yes, uh, very nicely said that, okay, you are here, somebody, you have to just be mentor for them, and you get mentor from whoever is there on top of you. So it's a really great simplification of what we should be just thinking, way of thinking, and again, helping also to other in this. And it's nice talking to you. And yes, to all the viewer. Now, if you have listened Amit's story, not only in IT, before coming to IT, he went through n number of different area. So whoever is just till today was complaining, saying that, okay, I don't have this, I have not any IT background, nothing to be worried. Only one thing, as per again advice from Amit, you have to work hard, do some research, and just that's it in simple way. So there is no any shortcut to any of all these basic advice what we got. Yes, mentor, yes, books, all these small advice is great. So it's a really great piece of advice, and nice talking to you, Amit. And yes, I know these approx 1 hour talk is going to impact maybe thousands of professionals who are just struggling and thinking, okay, oh my God, I have these many challenge, how to overcome, or means what to do next. listen to Amit, whatever he shared, and whatever you are thinking it's a challenge, it will be overcome just in an hour only. Okay, so that's it to everyone, and we'll be just meeting soon with another episode of this talk show. Till then, bye bye to all of you.
Bye.